were not declared vacant. Exactly. And so when you do something because at that moment you are comfortable and you think that you don't necessarily need that individual, or you never be at the receiving end, you have to think twice about it. And so for Parliament, the members, especially on the side of the NPP, they have to tread cautiously, because before you know it, you are the receiving end of the very things you are perpetuating now.
Yes.
And so for me, that would be my thoughts on this particular issue, especially with the deployment of the military and many, many other issues. Well, the Daily Graphic, front page, Supreme Court, Speaker's declaration on 4 MPs. Supreme Court ruling binding on Parliament. Legal experts tell NDC caucus. So I see here Samson Ladi Anyenini, Albert Kwashiga, who is also a private legal practitioner and a law lecturer at the UPSA. I see A. Sankuma. I see Justice Abdullahi. It's an extensive piece. It starts from the front page to page 3 all the way to page 16. So essentially the argument is that yes, you may disagree with the ruling, but then you'd have to comply with it. So that's it in relation to the Daily Graphic newspaper, the front page of it. Also, other stories here on the front page of the Daily Graphic. We have make TVET central in Africa's development strategy. Education Minister charges African governments, and GES releases harmonized prospectus for freshers. And who wins the trophy? 3 battle in tertiary business sense challenge. Let's go over the telephone line one more time. And we are speaking to Nana Kwesi Boete. He is a private legal practitioner and equally sharing his thoughts on what is happening and essentially joining us for the newspaper review segment as well. Good morning to you. I hope you're well.
I'm very well now, Dede. How are you?
I'm well. It would have been great to have you in studio, looking at how we are being slapped left and right with legal interpretations and education here and there.
I'm telling you.
It's been quite inundating. Yeah, it's been quite inundating and overwhelming for a lot of us. What are your thoughts, on all that has been happening? There's been an overdose of legal education from Thursday till now.
Well, thank you very much, Now. I think that a lot of the legal interpretations and opinions that are going on are adulterated with politics, unfortunately. The issues are not that complex. So what has happened is that the Speaker of Parliament, in the exercise of his powers as Speaker, has sought to enforce a certain portion, Article 97(1)(g). And when he sought G and H, of course, and when he sought to do that and made a pronouncement, which is, by the way, guided by some precedents already, then something strange happened. So the majority in Parliament, or the majority leader then, who had been by the ruling of the Speaker affected and now become minority leader, now goes to the Supreme Court and gets the Supreme Court to make an order for stay of execution ex parte. 2 things happened there. One, that the Supreme Court has jurisdiction to stay execution of the Speaker's ruling. Now, I have combed the Constitution up and down. The Supreme Court's jurisdiction, original jurisdiction, interpretation, and enforcement. Please remember, the Supreme Court has not interpreted any portion of the Constitution. What it did, the ruling they gave, was not an interpretation of the provisions of Article 97(g) or H. They just take the Speaker's ruling. Now, all the laws on stay of execution are very clear. Stay of execution, there must be an appeal pending at the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court then, in waiting to give the ruling or judgment on the appeal, can stay execution of the ruling or judgment that has been appealed. In the absence of an appeal, I don't know about a stay of execution. Now, beyond that is when the stay of execution application is made ex parte. These are all new things that the Supreme Court has done. First thing is that the Supreme Court has power to do this. In other words, so if Parliament in any day doing its normal business does anything. Can anybody just go to the Supreme Court and get the Supreme Court? I don't agree with what Parliament has done. Say what they are doing. I have not seen that power vested in the Supreme Court. So people keep saying, oh, and the Supreme Court has done what they are mandated to do, go and appeal it. The Supreme Court, as far as I know, as far as the 1992 Constitution is concerned, does not have power to stay execution of any act of Parliament, let alone execution of the ruling of the Speaker ex parte. Now, when the Supreme Court itself acts in excess of its powers, what happens? In one breath, people are saying, oh, Parliament should abide by the Supreme Court. Now, if the Supreme Court has acted with something, powers that they don't have, and Parliament abides, now, when you say that the Speaker has acted in excess of his power, will the Supreme Court abide? So if the Speaker now today gives a ruling that the Supreme Court has no power to review his decisions, will the Supreme Court itself abide by the Speaker's ruling? You see, when you live in a democracy, when you live in a rule of law, there is good reason for separation of powers. The Constitution has allocated powers per the Constitution clearly. The Speaker of Parliament did not refer this matter to the Supreme Court because, as far as he was concerned, there is no interpretation required. And please understand, the Supreme Court itself has ruled that where a provision of the Constitution is not ambiguous, in other words, where there is no confusion about the provision and it is clear in your mind, you don't apply for interpretation. So if the Speaker thinks that the meaning of the provision he's dealing with is clear, he will refer it to the Supreme Court, which is what he did. He was clear in his mind that those provisions are clear, that those people have vacated their seats. Once he came to that conclusion and made a pronouncement, at the very best, one person or two persons could apply to the Supreme Court for interpretation of those provisions. If the Supreme Court then, in interpreting the provisions, rules otherwise, that the Speaker's position is wrong, then you come back to apply. So if you even went for interpretation, there is no legal room or jurisdiction to the Supreme Court to stay execution of the Speaker's ruling pending its interpretation. And so that is where the problem is. That I feel that the Supreme Court has arrogated to itself powers that it does not have. And when we appeal to Parliament to comply, then we are now giving the Supreme Court powers they don't have. On any day, when Parliament is doing its job, Supreme Court can say, oh, we've said what you have done. How can this country be like that? So that is my problem. The Supreme Court must start checking. We can't start stepping into the arena, which is what's happening.
So who checks the Supreme Court?
Well, the separation of powers, Parliament can check the Supreme Court can check itself, and to an extent where the executive can check the Supreme Court. But basically the Supreme Court must check itself, the same way Parliament must check itself.
Well, we are just waiting for how today will unfold, sincerely, because it's been a lot, and the arguments keep changing. You mentioned that a lot of the arguments has been laced with politics. So depending on who is speaking and what party they support, you see its lenses in there. But ultimately, the sweetness of the pudding is in the eating. So we'll see how things will unfold in Parliament today. And now, Akwesi Boete, thank you very much for your time. We're grateful that you were able to join us briefly for the Newspaper Review segment.
Thank you very much, Nadi.
All right. So, guys, look, I think we should all take a chill pill. Sip on some tea, drink water. Let's observe what is going to happen. And we'll carry ourselves from there, sincerely. It's been inundating, sincerely.
It's been a lot. It's been a lot. So Joe, who is listening to us from Amasamai, says the military comes there early Tuesdays to check things out before members and others report. So it's normal that every Tuesday the military comes to do some sweeping. So they came there to do security sweeping.
Really?
And yeah, they are done. So they have gone back.
They are gone.
So when the MPs come, the military will not show
not
up.
be there.
Yeah. Thanks for assurance.
Look, I'm just saying, we are here.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm done talking about this.
Yeah.
I just want to see how today will unfold and
Most
how
definitely.
we proceed from here.
Yeah.
But for me, one thing I'm I am getting concerned about is that, you see, when two people have issues and there is one body where we believe we can go, and when we go, we will get some sort of finality.
Yeah.
We may not agree or disagree. We may not agree on how the outcome is, but we live with a certain level of satisfaction.
Yeah.
I think increasingly it's becoming more and more difficult when the Supreme Court deals with such controversial matters.
Yeah.
And so, as much as, yes, we have become deeply polarized, the Supreme Court itself must check itself. It's as simple as that.
And I think that is something that is wrong with our constitution, but we are just getting to realize it now.
Yes.
We felt at a point that the Supreme Court will always do right by us.
Yes.
Right?
No matter.
And that we'll have no cause to now have lawyers, legal brains, be sharply divided or overwhelmingly to one side against the decision of the apex court of the land, right?
Because most of them are saying that it is novel. It's never happened. And it is procedurally wrong.
Yes.
But then they say abide by it. But that's the part I also have a difficulty. That, for instance, someone has unjustly dealt with me, and then you tell me that, oh dear Vanessa, that is what creates a lot of tension and stuff, because consistently someone feels that way. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. You do that to the point where the person can take it no more, and then there's an outburst. And we must guard against that.
Exactly. So, and basically that's the problem. The problem is that now, so let's assume and admit that indeed the Supreme Court is wrong, right?
Yeah.
So the only way to deal with this is to file for a review, right? Right? And if you file for review, just that the numbers will be added on the same Supreme Court, right?
Yeah.
And after that, if you are still not satisfied, until you exhaust all the options still at the Supreme Court, right? So I think we've never been here, and everybody understands that we've never been here.
It's uncharted
right?
waters.
Yes, very uncharted waters, and so our assumption and the assumptions of the framers of the Constitution now, unfortunately, have been called into question. Because it looks south.
Yes.
They were all felt it was going to look north.
Because the framers in their minds thought that no matter where you belong or who appoints you, once it comes to justice, you will deal with it. And many of the justices who, when they appeared before the panel, whenever they put the issue of their political allegiance or affiliations to them, they always say that you must not be worried, because I am supposed to be my fidelity is to the law and not my political affiliation. And in fact, I don't even have any political affiliation.
I'm not supposed to have
you understand? So that is the thinking, that despite who you may like or who you may gravitate towards or who you may have a soft spot for, when issues of justice come before you, let's deal with the facts as they are, and not in any way with the lenses or the soft spots that we have, even though it's not entirely easy to do, because people live in the community, they see things, they have a soft spot for things, so you have to do extra, and that is why, I mean, we go through a lot in selecting who becomes a judge, especially to the apex court.
Yes, see, Professor Kojo Sena taught me a course at the University of Ghana, and he said, although this be madness, there's method in it.
Yes, there's a method to the madness.
Exactly.
There's a song like that.
So
there's a method to my madness.
It's the process that matters.
Absolutely.
See, I can favor you.
Yeah.
By in favoring you, I'll follow due process and end up at favoring you. But when I bend the process from the beginning, then I create unnecessary commotion. The point I'm making is that, see, people are now up in arms against the Supreme Court because it overreached.
For me, the problem is, even if you follow the due process to
at least
it is problematic.
No, I get you. But the point is that don't break everything in the process.
Yes, and for me, that is where the worry is, that we are digging a pit for ourselves, and unfortunately, it will not just be the people digging the pit for us. All of us will be casualties.
Anyway, Ghanaian
don't
Times.
cut your nose to spite your face.
Yes.
And that is what we are doing at the moment.
Unless you are doing plastic surgery. So
Well, I'm done with the daily graphic. The back page, let me
yeah.
just touch on it. The back page. Public
Okay.
advice to seek early treatment for refractive errors. And, okay, what are refractive errors? Do you know what they are? What are they?
Refractive. This is more scientific than you can even imagine.
People
Refraction.
with eye, radio.
Yeah.
The people, I don't know. So
Yeah.
let me just
Yeah.
read. I'm
Yeah, I
sure
get
there are
to read.
people too
Yeah.
who also.
Yeah. Yeah. There's deflection, there's refraction.
They
Yeah.
said, so it's true. The
Yeah.
integrated science, they
Yeah.
were telling all those drawing the eye and those.
And then when the rays of the sun hit,
how
yes,
it
it hit
all
a
those
surface,
ones.
yes.
It's true, it's true. But let me read it in case someone
Yeah.
is also like me.
That's true.
People with eye problems have been advised to seek early treatment at eye clinics to help identify refractive errors, which are the leading cause of visual impairments worldwide. The national president of the Ghana Optometric Association, Professor Samuel Brett Kusi, said, for instance, patients below 40 years should visit an optometrist at least twice a year, while those above 40 years should do so once a year. Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, apart from maybe there being a program and then you partake in the
eye screening.
I've never really gone
Same with
to the
ears. Same
optometrist.
with ears, right? Like they say, go. Yeah, they call it what? Ear, nose, and throat.
Yes.
I just go when I get to the hospital. I just see that department. Then that's the closest I've come to that department.
So we have to take it seriously.
Yes, we have
We
to.
have to take it.
We have
And the final story here: firewood and charcoal, silent killers. Speakers at NPA forum say so.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
should make LPG equally affordable.
Most
too.
definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
I'm done with the daily graphic news.
The Ghanaian Times, at the just ended Made in Africa Skills Week, replicates Ghana's TVET in Africa to address unemployment challenges on continent. Dr. Samoa, Ghana requires $15 billion over next 10 years to implement climate change plan. That's according to the finance minister. NPP NDC set to tussle in parliament today. Who occupies majority minority seats? Question. Accra High Court dismisses Bernard Mona's suit, challenging disqualification to contest December election. Back page of the Ghanaian Times. Ghana requires, it's up. Ajomoro needs infrastructure to promote local economic development. That's according to the Nananya Amike the second. Which community is Ajomoro? The Ajomoro Traditional Council in the Nzema is, so we have Jomoro. And we have Ajomoro. Ajomoro is like the baby Jomoro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But the one saying it too, I don't know.
So that's it for the Ghanaian Times this morning.
The New Crusading Guide newspaper, front page, Afenyo marking, defense Supreme Court intervention. Core boss leads Green Gold agenda, projects $5 million annually from traditional medicine, and Dangwe's chase Mahama. And this you brought some clarity to this particular story, that this is all orchestrated.
It's shocking,
and it's interesting that we have a paper as big as
the most befuddling aspect is people calling the media, inviting media, and sitting down and then choosing one person to address the media. And then the media also failed to do its checks and everything. Because somebody created a fake flyer or the Radio XYZ template and said the former president has said Gans, Kenke, those things. And the both parties, they create them. So but to go to the extent of getting people to come and call the media, address the media, and there is a press statement that is issued, and it's been carried. Yes, it's been carried on the front page of it. Oh gosh, wow!
It's and you see, for me, the problem is that we know it's an election year, and we know that the political class will be up to a lot of mischief. Therefore, whatever you hear, you must take it with a pinch of salt, especially when you see some of the. This one, it doesn't make sense. Yes. Who in his right senses? People are fabricating podcasts from. I mean, we have had instances where people have fabricated podcasts like ours, and then put, falsehoods on there. Yeah. And so we always say that if you don't see it on our platform, most likely it didn't come from us.
That's true. All
right. Other stories here. AMA Partners does biogas? That's biogas, Hannah. God, if it's biogas, fine. I say biogas. Biogas. That's biogas.
Yes.
Why did I even think it was biogas? Jeez. Oh, this is unacceptable.
What they are?
To generate eco-friendly renewable energy. Oh Lord, I can't believe it. I'm prepared to fight against galamsey. Mama Africa. Who is that? Mama
No, if the Father Africa is not fighting, why not? Mama Africa is taking it out. Charlie, we support you, Mama Africa.
Well, I'm done with the New Crusading Guidance.
Daily Statesman this morning. I'm coming with inclusive development. Baumian declares, Afenyo Markin, we won't join NDC's chaotic maneuvers. Gadangbe youth angry with Mahama over it. Charlie, High Court upholds Mona's disqualification by EC. And mining sector top tax contributor will record 11.55 billion Ghana cedis. That's it for the Daily Statesman.
Okay, Daily Guide newspaper front page. MP's power struggle. SC orders served on Parliament. Nana campaigns for Ayoko Boche's Commonwealth bid, and $5 million green gold agenda unveiled. And the final story, okay, not the final story. AMA and Das biogas partner to generate renewable energy, and Bagbin was wrong. That's according to Freddie. What's Meuble?
Anyway, Daily Post this morning. Parliament majority brouhaha. The looming constitutional crisis. Yes, yesterday we spoke to Professor Bafo Ajumenduya, who says, we are in crisis already. So grab your popcorn. Which drink do you like, Soboro?
No.
Or gingerbread?
Gingerbread is a drink.
Happy now you have come. So, what drink do you like? Burkina.
Oh no, I'm not a fan of Burkina. I like more of natural orange.
Okay, nice one. Be careful what you matter. I was going to tell you that the chief imam is listening. It's good. Yes, it's good. Yeah. So yeah, pineapple, ginger.
It is Burkina.
Yeah.
I've not actually. It's not my thing.
It's not your thing.
You don't like Burkina.
You don't like Burkina.
Do you like yogurt?
Once in a while.
Burkina is yogurt, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's just yogurt.
That one
yogurt
is
with
fresh milk. So no.
No, it's yogurt. It's fermented yogurt.
Yeah, but no.
Milk. I don't know what
No. It's raw milk.
Can you imagine?
Anyway, so Parliament tightens security amidst constitutional standoff over vacant seat. December 7 post, Jane's Army of Women. That's Jaw. Oh, that's a good one. Jane's Army of Women. Jaw. Give me Jaw. Rallies women behind VIP candidate Professor Ajuman. Oh, this is the first time I'm hearing this. So, Jane's Army of Women. Jaw. Tell them I'm a Jaw.
Are you down with the paper?
The other headline here. Public sector services grind to a halt amid strike by PSWU. Yeah, that's Public Services Workers Union. They are striking. So, interestingly, some aspect of GBC workers are on strike. Some aspect of GNA workers are on strike. And there's a working.
So public service
workers Union. There's a group that belong, like the media houses, like GBC. Part of them belongs to Public Services Workers Union. Others belong to communication something. Yeah.
Okay.
And then when you go to GNA too, they say
the same
so.
Thing.
See, your editor might be on leave, but you have to show up at work. So you write your own story and it goes raw like that.
Wow.
Yes.
Hey. Well, I never finish. Well, the Daily Dispatch newspaper. Only the courts have authority over vacated seats, not the speaker. NPP's Afenyo marking. Even Dispatch can say majority leader.
Yeah.
MPP's Afenyo marking.
You have to play safe.
And there will be no showdown today. We expect the Speaker to respect the Supreme Court ruling. Afenyo marking to Speaker, and parliamentary majority is won at the polling station and not manufactured in Parliament. Baumia to NDC. And that will be it for the Daily Dispatch newspaper.
The Chronicle this morning. NPP wants a Jura NDC chatterbox punish for assaulting their communications officer during a live radio program. I'm sure
I saw a video of it, and some people were giving him thumbs up. It's not done.
You cannot give this thumbs up to this.
It's not done.
It's not done. But me, it's a bandage for me.
Hey!
Have you seen it?
Jesus. I'm sorry that I exclaimed. Hey. Oh Lord.
The
I
wound,
mean,
the wound require a heavy bandage.
Bandage
suffered,
like that. No, it's the nurse.
the
Let's see,
whole
we have to
thing,
blame
yeah.
the nurse.
no, he
You see,
suffered.
No,
I mean, from
head
what,
injuries.
yes, from what we are seeing, it appears his head
Like
injury.
head fracture.
You know, when you are sleeping and you have such cuts and other stuff,
Yeah.
you wouldn't know and you be turning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
this
yes.
for
It's
protection.
more like
Protection.
a pillow.
My
It's
brother.
it's a covering,
My
protection.
brother, it's God that sent you here ahead of time, ahead of court today.
Yeah. What else is on the Chronicle
Yes,
newspaper?
NEIP unveils ambitious Baumia agenda for the youth, and Alan's Yellow Army. You see, so we have Joe, we have Yellow Army. Alan's Yellow Army invade Kumasi for vote, and Bagben got it all wrong. Freddie was Simewu Blay, and quotation for this morning: Isaiah 3:11.
Okay.
Woe to the wicked, wicked. Woe
Wickedy,
to the
wickedy.
wicked. It will go badly with him. But why not her? Okay, well, they say when the Bible says him, it's for both her and then him. Because Charlie, some of the wickedness we've seen from nowadays gender. You cannot, you have to edit this bring out here.
We are only.
So, whoa.
It can be for both.
Yeah, that's why they must take their own cross. Charlie, so woe to the wicked. It will go badly with him or her. For what he or she deserves will be done to him or her. So says the Lord.
So why are you singling out women?
No, I have not. I just, you see, we can't, this hymn cannot replace you people.
So
It
I
can't
watched-
cover you.
I watched a video where a lady was challenging a man that what a man can do, a woman
Can
also
do, okay.
And it was a heated argument
Oh,
and
wow.
all that. So at one point in time, the guy insisted, you will still maintain that what a man can do, a woman can do,
Yeah.
and do it best. The woman said, yeah, we can even do it and do it.
Yeah.
There and then, the judge just come out and remove the top of his.
Yeah.
his hat
And ask the
was,
woman to do
he said,
same.
yes.
Now that one,
Now-
there's an exception to every rule.
Now do the same.
Yeah, Yeah. In fact, it's actually an advert. I think at the point it was a concept that was developed into a commercial, a TV commercial. A very interesting one. Yeah. So, yeah.
There's an exception to every
Every
rule.
rule there is. Now,
All right.
oh, okay. So when we talk about the yellow army and I saw now this, I was going to talk about something, but you see, I can't mention because so like, this guy will be the blue army, right? So that's it for the Chronicle newspaper. That's
I don't
for
have anything
It's
to
allowed.
do.
you don't have any paper.
Finish with the insight. Then
Okay,
I'll
the
go into
insight.
the portals.
Okay, so the insight. Alan Chiramatin says his victory in 2024 will ensure peace and prosperity and towards safe and approved herbal medicine practice. Herbal industry giant outdoor Herbaceuticals Society of Ghana. That's interesting. You know, we have pharmaceutical. Now we have Herbaceuticals Society of Ghana.
Simplicity.
Yeah. Fallout from ADB loan scandal. Kwewu Abetifi Hene is now acting Kwewumai Hene. That's according to the Queen Mother. And Israeli attacks on Palestinian healthcare amount to crime against humanity, warns UN inquiry. And recent incessant demonstrations could stall socio-economic development of Ghana. Amrahia Manche warns. And Tasso over Speaker Bagben's ruling on 4 vacant seats. Akufo-Addo's cousin, Kwame Akufo, Esquire, punches holes in Supreme Court's stay of execution ruling. If you know Kwame Akufo, then you know that that's not the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always been a legal brain of some level of independence,
Yeah.
right? Yes, and this is not the first time. Yeah, that's lawyer Kwame Akufu.
All right. Let me take you to City Newsroom. City Newsroom. Ibrahim, kindly try and see if you're able to open starfm.com.gh.
Okay.
So City Newsroom front page, Anadon Prayer allegedly smuggled into Parliament to occupy majority side. Comply with Supreme Court ruling to avert chaos. CDD tells Bagbin, I'll establish mechanism centers in every district to boost agriculture. That's according to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. MPP government has done a lot for Ghana. Paramount Chief of Peki. And I saw a lot of comments when we posted it on our Instagram. People were not too they were not too nice with their comments. But I was my reaction was that, I mean, your story is not necessarily his story.
Exactly.
So you may think that,
Nothing has
this
happened.
particular person has not performed to your expectation, but to another person as well, that individual's God, because he has caused a lot of change in his life or wherever he finds himself or different aspects of his life. So we all cannot have the same opinion. That is how life is.
Yeah.
Parliamentary tussle over vacancies unprecedented, according to Professor Abochi. And Parliament's tightened security ahead of Tuesday's sitting. And level of decay in the judiciary shocking. That's according to Bernard Mona. And Kumasi man found dead outside truck at Nyantre Niasi. Nyantre Niasi.
Okay.
And then I'll be surprised if Bagman ignores the Supreme Court ruling. Freddie Blair and Peace Council engages minority, majority to maintain order in Parliament. But you did hear us speak to the chief whip of the NDC group. He says, well, he is not aware of any backroom engagements with the Peace Council, and he has some scores to settle with them, because he says most often they fail to intervene when some of these issues start cropping up. They wait until things get out of hand before they say that they are doing backroom engagement.
Yes.
Well, that will be it. Are you able to access?
Starfm.com.gh.
Okay.
Kwame Abuja fumes over military presence and not on press early entry into chamber. You may incur military casualties if you use them. Dr. Adam Bona is warning. Parliament and people will use brain work, no brow. No brow. That's according to Afenyo Markin. And then Duncan Williams demands retraction apology over defamatory publication. There was a story that he and together with some other pastors had held some secret meeting. Let me give you that story. See, yes, the renowned Christian leader, His Eminence. Oh, where's the story? His Eminence Duncan Williams.
It's okay.
Yeah. So
people can visit the portal.
the way it is,
people can visit the portal.
people can visit the portal. Yeah.
All right, that will be it for the newspaper review segment. We'll take a break. When we return, we've done our first check.
I'll take a break and go to Parliament.
Hold on, I have to. You have to give me some further details before you move. Yes, I think we've done our first check, haven't we?
Oh yeah, we have.
So it's still the Morning Star here. We'll take a break. When we return,
The show
more
continues.
issues to discuss, and definitely the show does continue.
In the Parliament,